Hello and welcome, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I was preoccupied. I had something to take care of, unfortunately. Looks like Gil and MagicK are pretty close. Mere seconds apart at this point. MagicK had a race earlier today. He fared pretty well. Got, I believe, 39? I forget, actually, unfortunately. Gil taking a tough death there. Not too big of a deal, though, very early on. Lots of places to make up time, and that's not too costly, all things considered. I think this stage is 30 seconds at best, so should have plenty of time. Hello and welcome, Nay. What's up, dude?
Yo.
Did you get your room? Or, registration?
No, I'm still refreshing. And
Oh, okay.
I get 521.
Alright, so MagicK is into Coral Capers, one of the first water stage of the game. Very, very easy to lose time here due to suboptimal movements, not cutting corners optimally. We actually got fast start on guard. That's good. Looks like he's going to go for this, octopus clip right there. Due to on guard's thrusting, lunging action, you can sort of get invulnerability during that time and then clip through enemies that would otherwise be able to hurt you. On guard is invincible in his lunging action, so he will dispatch enemies like the bite-sized little piranhas, the chomps, those bigger sharks. However, he can't kill the croctopus, so you just clip right through it. Same thing with mincers that we'll see later on in this game. Now he's into Barrel Canyon. This level is mostly, we'll say automated. You just go through these automatic barrel cannons across the top of the stage for most of it. There are some parts like right here where you have to go down and make it to the next set of barrel cannons. And he makes it up there nicely. So, easy stage. There is one thing you can do to optimize this. Holding Y and right will actually make you fly faster through the air. Now he's going into Naughty's Lair. First boss fight of the game. Just easy, bop him on the head. Every time you hit him, he jumps a little bit further, so you just need to stand a little bit further back. Looks like 352 banana drop. That's not too bad. And he's going to be moving on to World 2. Gil working his way through those auto canyons. He's got 2 Rambi tokens, which normally would be pretty spooky if it was another set of tokens. Because if you get 3, you automatically get sent into a bonus game. It looks like he's going to take the Maze of Shame as well. MagicK working his way through Winky's Walkway. Very nice stage from him. Now he's going to go into Minecart Carnage. First auto-scrolling stage of the game, but we skip most of it. There's a warp barrel at the beginning there, and then you just ride your cart here for about 10 seconds or so, hop over one guy, and you're out. Gil going into first boss, quick on MagicK's heels, not too far behind, still anybody's race, anything can happen, especially in the later levels. Bouncy Bonanza here for MagicK. He needs to be a little bit careful here, it's a tough stage. But I think he had it pretty well handled earlier today. Opting for halfway, that's not a bad decision, actually. This stage can be very tricky, especially in the second half. There's a trick here that some people do called B-skip, where you skip the Bs. Doesn't go for it, but there is some interesting crawl space mechanics there. If you hold down when you jump into a crawl space, the game thinks... I'm not actually sure the technical reasoning behind it, but you can still jump. If you hold down in a direction while you jump into a crawl space, the game lets you keep jumping, as opposed to crawling, which is much slower. Pretty easy stage for him on his way out, and now Gil is working his way to Minecart Carnage as well. Stop and go station. Little gimmick here is that these rock crocs, these enemies back and forth, they wake up after a certain amount of time, and then you need to touch these stop and go barrels. But so long as you are rolling, they can't hurt you, so you just roll right through them. Not a problem. Now he's going into Millstone Mayhem. This is where we see the first major exploit of the game, the first major glitch. It's called a super jump. He's going to charge it right here, take damage with Donkey on that slope, such that he jumps off the top of the screen. So now the super jump is charged. When he gets Donkey back, as long as he's holding B and lands on an enemy right here, he'll go upwards infinitely. And uses that to access a Donkey-only warp barrel. Cleanly out of the stage. Very nice. Into the second boss of the game, Neki. First instance of RNG, first of two, the second instance being the second Neki fight. The only RNG is whether or not the bird is on the top or the bottom, the left or the right. Left and right pretty much don't matter, you just kind of have to react to which side it's on. But the top spawns are a little bit undesirable just because they're a little bit trickier to hit. Sometimes you get hit by the nuts that he's spitting out of his mouth. But MagicK deals with them just fine. Moving on to World 3, this is sort of like the forest theme world. Into Vulture Culture, he's going to start with Donkey here. Normally you want to be Diddy because Diddy's much faster. However, you're going to just end up changing back to Donkey again because there is this Donkey-only exclusive warp barrel right there. You can only access as Donkey. Swaps back to Diddy. And goes through these barrel cannons. Kind of tricky here to time those shots correctly. If you don't, you end up taking damage with Diddy, and then that makes this warp right here really tough to access. Unfortunate for him there. He's going to have to grab his Diddy here. Probably take a death. I don't think you can get back up to the warp barrel any other way.
I don't think so, and even if you can, it would be pretty difficult.
Yeah,
So just die.
Yeah, I think dying there is his best option. Makes it out fine, though. Looks like Gil set up the super jump, and then he must have missed something up, because I saw him getting another Kong in Stop and Go. He's in a tricky situation there. Gil having a rough go of it in Millstone Mayhem, having to go back and get his Donkey, because you do need two Kongs coming into that stage in order to perform this trick. MagicK set up another super jump here for Force Frenzy, using it to skip the majority of this stage, probably about 80% of it. And then he's going to release B right here. So ever after this point, he was going up before, and now he is falling. He's falling this whole time for the rest of the stage because you go up so much faster than you fall down. Gil... Oh no! Unfortunate. He is now in the Millstone Mayhem Infinite. Having a rough go of it. Unfortunate. But still anybody's race. There are plenty of other difficult stages along the way for him to make up some time. Now for Temple Tempest, this is one of the first really good platforming stages where you see a lot of good rolls, extendos, some tire rolls. Oh, it misses the first extendo. Very unfortunate. Gil finally got the super jump. Yay for Gil. Alright, now he's out of there. He's going to go into Neki, and then he'll be in World 3 and making his way back to MagicK. Looks like MagicK was going to go without the bird, but he seems to have now changed his mind and is picking up Espresso. He missed Espresso! I guess he's going without it.
Do the bonus.
What's up?
Just wanted to do the bonus, I guess.
He just wanted the extra % completion. Normally, in a speedrun, top runners will opt to not take the bird, as it is the fastest route not to. But taking the bird loses about 6 seconds, but makes the stage pretty trivial. So a lot of runners. Oh no, he got the jump. He got the lame roll. He didn't notice.
Not recognizing the visual key.
Yes. So if you roll on that little gap right there, and sometimes you get a weird jump off of it if you don't roll right. See, now he's fine. It will eat your next roll inputs. Kind of, I guess, bad game programming. Oh, he went for the Omega. Good for him. Didn't quite get the full thing, but still tough trick to attempt. Must have been practicing it, which is interesting because he normally goes for Espresso. He took Espresso earlier today, so changing up his strats. Now he's going to go for a trick called Map Warp, and what that is there are corners on the World 1 overworld. As long as you have both of your Kongs in one barrel, the Funky Slate Barrel, or if you just have one single Kong. As long as there's one sprite on the map, it will stop on the corners right there for 1 frame, gets it first try. You just need to hit it to try to enter it as if it was any other level, but it's not supposed to be a level entrance. So the game doesn't really know where to send you, so it sends you actually 3/4 of the way, or probably more than that actually, very close to the end of Orangutan Gang. The other 3 corners, 2 of them also send you to O-Gang, but in different spots, and then the last corner, the other corner, will send you to the end of 1-2, which is Roby Rampage, I believe. Second underwater level with Eduardo here, our affectionate fish. Again, it's really, really easy to lose time in water stages just from not quite precise movement, you know, not cutting corners optimally or stuff like that. Obviously, getting hit on your fish, losing your fish is a big time loss. So that's something you don't want to do, but he recovers very, very nicely. It's much faster to be on guard as opposed to just swimming with the Kongs regularly. So if you do lose your fish, you kind of have to weigh your options, whether or not you can get him back and how long it will take, and how much of the level is left to see, you know, what might be the fastest way. You got to adapt to your situation in races. So now MagicK onto the bee fight. Just basically run barrels into this bee, and she actually, I'm sorry, it's Queen Bee. She'll, taking damage. I don't really know how that happened because he was holding the barrel out in front of him. But now he's in the bee fight as Donkey. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to do the fight as Donkey. You have to be really, really comfortable with it. Most people don't practice it because typically in an all stages speedrun, you come in here as Diddy. Fortunately though, there is a DK barrel. They're ready and waiting for you if you don't have both of your Kongs upon the entrance of any boss fight. Gil going for map warp now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th try. Still not too bad. I think that loses something like 6 seconds. MagicK going back to Diddy, which is for the most part easier. He holds the barrel in front of him instead of on top of his head, so you can just kind of run it into the bee, as opposed to trying to awkwardly use Donkey's like backwards swing motion, the way that he throws the barrels to hit the bee, like behind you. Tough to describe if you're not seeing it. So now we're on to the snow world. First stage is barrel. Oh shoot, what is it? Snow barrel blast. A lot of it you just shoot through these barrels, obviously, hence the name. But there is some interesting movement you can do in between. There's a trick right here, I believe he goes for barrel boost. If you're holding a barrel and you jump off of a slope, it pushes you forward at a very fast speed, and you use that to skip a whole bunch of barrel cycles. Gets it there very nicely. No turn back as well, which saves a little bit of time. Opts not to do the extender through those birds. I don't know if he knows it, but that saves a little time there if you do it. And gonna skip all those barrels, go down to this last auto barrel that's gonna take him to the end of the stage. Gil coming into the bee fight with Donkey in front, and looks like he's just gonna go ahead and fight the boss as Donkey, which I'm a big fan of. I'll say if you're comfortable with it, you should do it.
Yeah. You get the fast song at the end as well. So if you're already Donkey, you might as well just keep him for the fight.
That's something I neglected to mention. Donkey has a faster fanfare that you get at the end of every boss fight. Looks like MagicK having a little bit of trouble despawning the guy to bounce off of to get up to the rope. And then jump up into the warp barrel, swap back. Looks like he opts not to go for the out of bounds. I don't know if he went for it earlier today.
I'm good now, by the way, so I can commentate.
Oh, excellent.
Very excellent.
Okay, so those purple ropes, the gimmick with them is they're like slippery. They force you to slide down, so you got to jump up them to climb them. And second appearance of Espresso in this speedrun. Usually it's the first time you see him. Bird is fast. The bird is much faster than the Kongs. And the bird is even faster when you're running down slopes. So you want to run down slopes as much as you can. And running up slopes is actually slower, so you like to jump up them when you can. The bird will move at the same speed when you jump in the air. Ooh. Very tricky when you lose the bird.
Definitely.
When you're on an animal buddy and you take damage, it sort of just propels you in whichever direction you're facing uncontrollably. You can't jump out of it, you can't roll, you can't do anything until you hit the ground again. So it's very easy to take a death in stages like this one. Oh, the Mankey.
Should have rolled.
Yeah, he needed to roll through that, but I think he didn't trust rolling up a slope, which is fine. Rolling is definitely tricky. So Gil actually staging a pretty good comeback here. MagicK did not grab halfway, and Gil is at the end of Slipslide Ride here. So he is, I don't know, I'd say a good 15 seconds away from MagicK right now. Closed the gap big time, I'd say. Alright, Gil getting the bird no problem. And still opting not to get midway. Gets his donkey back. The tire balance can be kind of spooky if you're not used to it and don't mash the right way. You see he went under that bonus barrel right there. If you don't mash hard enough, you'll get shot into the bonus, and that's a huge time loss. It also shoots you out in kind of an awkward place that's hard to get past, but he navigates it wisely into Croctopus Chase now, which is about 2 minutes and 20-ish seconds between that and like 2:30, depending on your level of play. Again, it's all about cutting corners and mashing B to swim up as fast as possible. On Guard is in this stage, however, he's not seen in the speedrun typically just because it actually loses time to go and get him because he's so far at the end of the stage and so far out of the way. It doesn't actually make your run any faster, so it's just like 2.5 minutes of aquatic ambiance, swimming, cutting corners, smashing B. You do not have to hold Y to go faster in this game as you do in the other two games, because there's actually no such thing as water in this game. It's just a text effect, a graphical effect. And the game sort of sets you in a swimming state. It doesn't know that you're actually in water. Water doesn't really exist in this game, as opposed to the other two. Grabbing halfway, safe choice. In the meantime, enjoy one of the best songs on this soundtrack. Remixed, remastered by Nay.
I don't know if they want me to do the Waz, man. Last time they complained.
Everyone wants the Waz. I have just received a personal message that Fear Factory is the best. I'll say Fear Factory is pretty good. I think all of the DKC 1 OST is very nice to listen to. I don't know if there's a song that I particularly just don't like. They each fit their own niche. They all fit the stages that they're in very, very well. One of the ones that I think is very, very underrated, largely because you don't hear very much of it, is Crystal Chant. That is exclusive to Slipslide Ride, which is, I don't know, like a 30-second level or something like that. Do you know how long?
Well, the song restarts when you get the warp, I'm pretty sure, right?
Right, but how long is the level even in total? Do you know what your IL is?
Like with or without the warp?
With the warp.
I can check.
Anyway, pretty short level.
Like 15, I think 20.
Yeah, it's not very long, and you don't get to hear the whole song anyway. So, Torchlight Trouble This is the first stage where the gimmick is that the lights are out. It's dark. In order to compensate for that, the game gives you squawks. It's baby squawks. He holds a little torchlight. But he makes the game lag a lot, so players opt to not get him in favor of saving time. Just some people turn up their brightness just to see better. For the most part, though, it's not that dark, and you really can see what's going on anyway. Gil taking it safe there, keeping both of his Kongs.
Ooh,
MagicK taking an unfortunate death there due to sort of a odd roll he had. I don't think that was what he was expecting to get.
My IL was like 30. So
yeah, so it's like a 30-second level with the warp, but as you said, the song restarts after you take the warp, so you really don't get to hear very much of it. You don't get into the best part. So Gil and MagicK in Rope Bridge Rumble at the same time, not very far apart. It's still anyone's race, as I've been saying.
Definitely, yeah.
Gil is donkey though, so if you're donkey, you're dead, as the expression goes. He needs to be very careful.
That is what they say.
Ooh, cut it very close on that B there. Lots of good tie rolls, if the players opt to do them in this stage. I don't think either Gil nor MagicK are big into tie rolls, though. So, into the second beaver fight. It's exactly the same as the last one, except this time he jumps really, really high, an increasing number of times as you hit him. So you just need to wait for him to jump 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and then you bounce on his head. And then you get your big banana. Moving on to the industrial-styled world of this game, Kremkrok Industries. Now we're in Oil Drum Alley. Okay. He's setting up for the super jump. He did that on purpose. He needed to get both of his Kongs back in order to set up the super jump. Right here, you're gonna see Diddy fly off the top of the screen. Gonna get Diddy back, jump into that oil drum, and then bounce off the Kremling there.
Nice stuff.
Slower than playing out the stage in its entirety in a typical speedrun. However, it's a very tricky stage to play, so it is super safe, and we'll see just how much time Gil can make up here. Because as you can see, his screen is scrolling much faster. MagicK is basically moving at, I believe, walk speed. I don't think it's even run speed when you're in super jump state. Meanwhile, every time Gil is... Sorry?
I'm fairly certain it's run.
Oh, it is run speed? Okay. So every time Gil rolls, though, every enemy that he rolls through as well is time that he's saving, time that he's moving faster on MagicK. Taking damage there, unfortunately. However, there is a DK barrel right here. So he's like 1 section of the stage away from MagicK, taking it safe and making sure he doesn't waste all that progress that he made. Very smart. Gonna roll there. He's not into the tire rolls, which is perfectly fine. They can be very, very tough. He is rolling off the drums though. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know Donkey could make that. I wonder if that damage was intentional in order to skip waiting for that cycle.
Yes, super jumps are run speed, I'm fairly certain, because if you release Y, you go slower.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why you have to hold Y during Frenzy. Good call. So Trick, Track, Track, the stage is short enough that you blink and you don't notice it. It's like a 10-second stage. You take a warp at the very beginning, and then you go to the very end. And it's super simple to do. Now into elevator. Sorry, 10 seconds?
They wish it was 10 seconds.
They wish. Elevator antics now. The gimmick is that there are elevators throughout the stage going up and down different directions. I don't believe either of the players go for it, but there's a trick called elevator skip where MagicK is right now. You can skip 1 cycle on the last elevator right here.
MagicK
saves a little bit of time.
Going for it there. $25.52 exit. Nice little palindrome. Ooh. Gonna be
taking a safety save here.
Candy. How many lives has he got?
I'm sure he has plenty. I don't think he's in any danger. He's got 7. Yeah, I guess that's just in case. I don't know. Anyway, into Poison Pond, the 3rd water stage. Wait, 4th water stage. 4th and final water stage.
4th and final.
Yeah. 3rd stage with On Guard. Waiting for that Mincer cycle there. Interesting. Again, very, very easy to lose your fish here above all other things. Just like the Croctopus, you can sort of clip through the Mincers if you charge your lunges at the right time. Time your lunges. However, as you can see on Gil's screen, it is super easy to lose your fish, and when you do, there are lots of horizontal alleys, like where MagicK just lost his fish. He's not going to be able to get it back. There's nowhere for the fish to turn around before he goes too far and despawns, so he's going to have to finish this level now as Donkey only, so that's going to be a little tricky.
It shouldn't be too difficult if he knows to hug the ceiling.
Yeah, it's the secret tech here is to just mash B and hug the ceiling, and it looks like he knows that one. So there's one fish right there that can clip you sometimes if you're not mashing well enough. And he knows to slow down for the Mincer. Good. Okay. Gil getting the backup fish. Donkey on guard. Waiting for that Mincer cycle. Opting not to grab Diddy there. I don't think most people do. I don't think most people even know there's a barrel there. And then Gil misses that Mincer clip as well, so he's also going to be finishing solo Donkey. MagicK doing what we call rolling through air now. So what you do is you have Donkey and Diddy, and you run into the minecart as Donkey. You cannot jump, you cannot roll. You have to run into the minecart, and then you immediately crash into that first bird, take damage on it. Anytime you take damage, the game forces you to jump. So you jump out of the minecart as Diddy, and the game thinks you are simultaneously on land and in the air because you ran into the minecart. So it lets you jump and roll infinitely, alternating. So Gil opts not to set up for it, loses about 4 seconds, I believe, to not do that. There's also a jump roll that you can do on a couple of birds early on in the stage that will save you about 6 seconds over rolling through the whole stage until the point where you lose the glitch. Wow. Say that again?
I'm pretty sure that's 4 seconds as well.
Oh, it's another 4 seconds? Okay.
Yeah.
I was told it was...
That's what I timed, at least.
Oh? You heard it here first, folks.
I guess it depends how you do the level.
Yeah, and what birds you hit and all that. I heard it was 6 seconds over perfect birds, or 3 seconds over perfect birds, which nobody does, because that's just not really human viable. So, MagicK now in Blackout Basement, the second light gimmick stage, where the lights will flicker on and off every 62 frames, just over 1 second. Lots of good platforming here, lots of good extendos, some tire rolls and stuff that you can do if you're crazy. Lots of cycle skips you can do on these moving platforms. For the most part, you rely on muscle memory and some subtle visual cues that you can use. Things that stay visible to you when the lights turn off, like bananas, and there's a midway barrel, and DK barrels will stay visible even when the lights are off. However, strangely, banana bunches are not visible when the lights are out. Not sure if that's intentional or not. As well as Kong letters, they are not visible, and animal tokens are not either. So MagicK onto Dum Drum now, the boss that literally kills himself. He will drop enemies on you, and then it's up to you to dispatch them, and once you do, he'll start trying to slam himself into you. After 5 cycles of this, just kind of wears himself down, and then he ends up blowing up. You want to use Donkey for the end of this fight, specifically the 4th and 5th cycles, because Donkey can dispatch the clumps and armies that he dishes at you more easily and more quickly. Also, Donkey has a faster fanfare, so you save time on this boss, and then just as soon as you get into the next level, Tanked Up Trouble, which is in the sort of cave-styled world. Gil solo Donkey for the end of Blackout. That's kind of spooky. Think Up Trouble. Big auto scroller level. There are 2 frame perfect tricks that you can do here, 2 jump rolls. I do not believe either player goes for either of them. Creme Tut is the first one that saves 55 seconds. It's very difficult. Some would say it's the most difficult frame perfect trick in the game. However,
Back that up.
yeah, definitely. From personal experience, I'd say I have the lowest percent success rate on that one. Gil trying to show off some nice slap slides. Can appreciate that. Kudos.
What's up with the lights on MagicK?
Yeah, his green lights. I think that just might be like his version of the game or something. But the bird that he just jumped on right there, that is the bird that you would normally do Creme Tut off of. Obviously not going for it. So now it is about 1 minute and 20 seconds here from here to the end of the stage. Very long auto-scrolling stage. So Creme Tut saves about 55. Bird Tut saves about 42. He missed the oil drum, but you still have enough to miss one of them. You're still fine. Interesting though. So this is a bit of a longer stage, but as you can see, both players still in this stage at the same time, so it's still pretty close. There's a lot of very tricky things about World 6, so it really is anybody's race still.
Oh, someone just suggested maybe it's a chroma key.
Oh, could be, yeah. Because it's like
Very
only that
interesting.
specific color, like the other lights are fine.
Not sure why you'd do that to your game capture, but...
I would say if he uses like a green screen to like overlay himself over the green screen or something like that, but I don't think he does. He might normally, but he wasn't using camera when I hopped in earlier to chat with him.
that would only go on the camera source, wouldn't it? Not the game.
That's true. I have no idea, man.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Indeed.
Entering Manic Minces here. Looks like he's going to go for the super jump route, yeah. Not surprising considering he did ODA as well.
Pretty safe, pretty difficult stage, so this is a very, very safe strat. Actually, Dad Loves Beer, a runner of this game who has a 35, still employs this strat.
Yeah, I was still doing it when I had a 35.
Yeah, so it's really not all that bad. It doesn't lose that much time, all things considered. Gil goes for under the double B stack.
That's what I like to see.
Oh, unfortunate that he takes damage, though. It's very finicky. Sometimes you can duck under those double Bs, sometimes you can't. Not really sure what determines it. I think it's something to do with how you land on the trek. But
I think it might also have to do with, like, I think the bees wobble up and
their
down.
hover cycle, yeah?
Yeah. Because that's why sometimes when you get bird tut, like, if you take it too close when you're doing the back and forth thing with the naughty, you'll still sometimes hit it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
MagicK trying to super jump over this, but lands on the rope.
Oh, yeah,
He's gonna have to play it.
So you need to be in a falling state. He went for the jump roll! This is my man.
Sun Van setup.
So there, one frame trick there saves 80 frames, so 1 1/3 seconds. What a man. Gil also super jumping over Mincers here. He took an intentional death there after getting Donkey back. I'm sorry, he got Diddy back. So he took an intentional death there just for the setup. A bit unfortunate that it requires both Kongs. But he does do it sacrificeless though, so he'll come out with both Kongs. As to why the super jump didn't work for MagicK, you need to walk off of a ledge such that you're in a falling state when you land on the enemy, when you get bounced upwards. Because as long as you're in a falling state, you can clip through ropes. You do not have collision with ropes.
Oh, that's what determines it. I never knew.
Oh yeah, it's falling state, just like with rope clips in Tempest.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why it's frame perfect, because it's like the frame that you're walking off the edge. And that's how you get through the ropes. Super jumping over loopy as well. This stage does not have any ropes, so you're just free to go over the top of it. Gil working his way through Misty, all natural, no super jump. Can be a very tricky stage. Definitely has some fun rolls and stuff like that to do. No extendos though, right? One that I can think of.
There's one at the end.
Oh yeah, the one at the end, true. But I always find this claptrap section very satisfying to do.
Mm.
Alright, so MagicK at the end of Loopy now. There's one gatekeeper left between him and this victory. Oh, he came down a little early. He actually might have done that on purpose to not get caught by the claptrap.
Yeah.
So platform perils here. He is exactly one stage ahead, one Loopy lights ahead of Gil. But
anything could happen though.
Anything could indeed happen.
Perils Infinite is a thing.
It is a big thing, even for the most experienced of players.
Oh yes.
MagicK did hit platform perils jump roll earlier today, though. So we'll see. He doesn't go for the normal setup. He does a different alternate setup here. He goes and then resets him. Oh, he hits it again! 2 for 2. Looks like MagicK has just about wrapped this one up. He's gonna have, what's this, like a low 41?
Yeah, I think so.
Unbelievable. 2 for 2. Good for you, MagicK.
Maybe we need to start maining the old setup again.
We might. Apparently it's free. Gil at the end of Loopy now. This is the third stage where the gimmick is the lights are out. You hit these barrels to turn the lights on, and then they'll go off after a certain amount of time, which varies per barrel. Solo donkey here, which can be really scary, especially with that Mankey right there, and then the claptrap at the end of the stage. But he manages just fine. So MagicK now on the second to last boss. Again, up and down, left and right is the only RNG. You want bottom spawns just because they're easier to hit. So it looks like he's gonna have a 41 20 something. Just about.
Quick math.
Quick maths. Assuming, you know, the fight goes as planned. But this fight is pretty much scripted, pretty textbook.
Uh-oh. Gil having a hard time in perils.
He's donkey, but he's okay. He's alive. But if you're donkey, you're dead. So, I just hope he can make it through the next. Ooh, interesting barrel strats there. Okay, he's halfway, so that's pretty much a-okay for him. He's good now. Got his ditty back. He'll be just fine. He's a fine boy. MagicK now on K. Rool. As I said, it's pretty much scripted fight. Pretty textbook. It's just jump on him as soon as he throws his crown. The only real optimization here is to hit him as soon as he is vulnerable, which we like to call crownless hits. If you hit him on like the first few frames where he is vulnerable, ooh, taking damage with Diddy. Interesting.
Donkey.
If you do it on the first few frames that he's vulnerable, though, you won't see his crown, so we call that crownless. And as Nay said, do not sleep on the king. The King K. Rool. So nice credits here. Oh no, Gil! Oh no!
Didn't roll deep enough.
Ouch. That's probably about a minute. It depends very largely based upon how you do the fight. I'm sorry, how you do the stage, but it looks like he actually waits out most of the platform cycles, doesn't do a whole lot of skips and fancy stuff, which is totally fine as a newer player. I believe Gil picked this game up for the tournament and like hadn't played it beforehand, so.
Gil doing a bit of a back boost there, even though he waited for the platform to move. I'm not sure why people do that. You can make the jump over him if you wait.
He might
that
not
long.
know.
Okay.
That's something that I didn't know for the longest time, so I'd actually roll through him until I saw someone else roll and jump over. GG to MagicK.
GG.
Low 41, 41-23. All in all, pretty good run. I don't think he's gonna hop in for a interview though. He didn't earlier, and I'm not sure. I think Gil will come in after he's done. Gil making good work of Neki here though. Pretty easy fight. He just spits out 1 nut, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh no.
Damage though. Of course, commentator's curse.
Hello.
Counting to 5.
Oh,
is
hello,
hard.
MagicK.
Hello.
Prove me wrong. I thought you weren't gonna hop in for an interview. How'd you feel about your race, bud?
That's okay.
Gil getting some slab slides. That's what I like to see.
And
Nice.
The preferred Kong in front for K. Rool.
This is true. Again, you want Donkey for all the fanfares because it's faster than Oh, we tried to do a slap slide. So MagicK,
Yes.
you hit platform parallels jump roll again, dude. How do you feel?
Well, I didn't expect to hit that one again, but yeah, it's cool.
You've been pretty lucky with that. It gets you out of the second half of a very difficult stage.
Yeah.
How long have you been running this game,
Champ.
actually?
I did start January, I think. So yeah, I have
Okay.
a little bit of experience with this game. So yeah.
So about 9 months. That's cool. Awesome. Glad to have you around, man. It's always fun to have more people.
Yeah.
Is this a big game from your childhood that you played like all the time, or is it something that you actually just picked up as a speed run?
Actually, it was my first game I speedrun. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Your first speed run. That's
Yeah.
always fun.
Yeah.
What actually is your PB right now? I don't think I know.
My PB, I did PB yesterday before my race against Silk Shady. It was 38:20.
38:20. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Do you have any future plans, like any goals where you want to get down to, or are you just playing for fun?
Well, I would like to go sub 38. So yeah.
Sub 38. Good. That's a good goal.
Yeah.
Excellent, man. Do you think you're gonna keep like all the same strategies that you have, like the super jumps over stages, or are you gonna cut things out?
Yeah, I would like to go with more advanced strat when I feel comfortable with. So yeah.
Cool. I look forward to you learning more and doing more stuff and doing more races.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Do you have all the resources available to you? And by that I mean, do you know about DonkeyKongCountrySpeedruns.com?
Yeah, about the wiki. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned most of the trick in this website. It was really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very good source of information. I would advocate anybody who wants to learn this game, look at that website and join the Discord as well. Lots of very helpful people. Sometimes you need more than just a video in order to kind of get the grasp of a trick. Gil finishing with about a 45 flat. It looks like he stopped his timer a little bit late. Probably had to done in SRL. So I'm going to get him in here for an interview soon. Gil PB'd, he says. Interesting. Very nice, Gil. Gil says lost a literal billion on Minstone. Unfortunate, but he did indeed. Don't want to do an interview, so cool with wrapping it up now. All right. Gil declines the interview, but congrats on PB to Gil. Thank you very much for the race, MagicK. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for having us. Thanks, Oasis, for setting it all up. Any other closing comments?
We'll say yeah. Thanks for all for the organization. I think it was really fun to do this race. So yeah, it was fun.
Always happy to commentate. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Same here.
Joining me, Nay.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
And that's all from me. So I am rolling out.
Rolling out.